Hello guys, so in this tutorial guys we'll be discussing about VLANIF. So this is a layer 3 switch, so we learn how you can configure layer 3 switch. So on another previous topology or other previous topic concerning Inter-VLAN, we have discussed how we can configure Inter-VLAN using router on a stick. We also discuss how you can configure using switch but using a layer 2 switch with a support of layer 3 router. So in today's we'll be using only layer 3 switch that perform multiple function. It acts as a layer 2 switch to configure the access link type and also act as a layer 3 switch for configuring VLANIF. So without further ado, let's go ahead and do so. So first of all, I have already assigned the IP addresses and their respective gateway to each PC so that we can make this video as short as possible. So you can see we have already configured the IP address, the subnet mask and the gateway. So the next thing we need to do, we need to configure our layer 3 switch. This is a layer 3 switch. You can find it within our option here. This is the S5700. This is the layer 3 switch. So without further ado, let's go ahead and configure. So double click to run the switch. So we'll go by system, then rename our system name, give it layer 3 switch. Then first of all we'll configure our interface. Let's configure this into interface. For the access link type, as I said before, any connection or any interface running from our switch to our PC, the link or the interface connecting them is known as the link type access. So let's go ahead and do that. So we'll go to interface, come to this interface here. So we're talking of this interface, which is G0/0/1. Then within that interface, before that, let's first quit. We need to create the VLAN. So as you can see, we have two VLAN. So we have to create these two VLAN first of all. As you can see, we have this VLAN 10 and VLAN 20. So we have to configure this VLAN. So first of all, let's create VLAN before configuring our interface. So we'll first of all create VLAN. So we'll create VLAN batch 10 and 20. Then after this, we'll go ahead now configure our interface. So let's get back to our interface. So go back to our interface, and within this interface here, we'll now specify the port. I'll talk about the port link type. As I said, it will be access since it connect from or running from switch to PC. So link type will be access. And now let's specify the VLAN. So we'll specify the VLAN. So port default. Talk about port default VLAN 10. Now we are good to go. Let's do the same for the VLAN 20. So come back and go to that interface. Go to interface 2, this interface here, and we'll specify the port link type. It will be access, and also the default, VLAN, which is supposed to be 20. Specify 20, and now we are good to go. So we have already configured this to interface. So the next thing, we will go to the layer 3. Now as I said, this switch contains both layer 2 and layer 3. The layer 2 is we configure the link type access for each interface. So we'll go to the layer 3 and now try to configure a layer 3 using now the VLANIF. We'll specify the VLANIF 10 and 20. So let's get back here. Let's quit and let's come back to that interface. Let's specify the VLANIF. We are talking about VLANIF 10, and within our VLANIF 10 we will specify our gateway. As I said, this is our gateway here. Also it's here, this is our gateway, so we'll specify our gateway. So come here and specify our gateway. So IP address 192.168.1.1 with a subnet mask of 24. Hit enter. Also again, let's come back here and also do the same. So we'll come back to the same interface. So we'll come to the second interface, which is G interface. VLANIF for VLANIF, talk about VLANIF 20, and here we'll need to assign the IP address. So let me just use the existing IP already, just need to change. So this 2.1, the subnet mask of 24, you hit enter and we are good to go. So we have configured VLANIF for both VLAN 10 and VLAN 20. Also you have configured the link type for both layer 4, layer 2. So we have specified both link type for VLAN 10 and 20, as I said, in a interface that connecting the switch or a layer 2 switch or any switch or router running to the PC or any end device. Then that interface or that linking is known as a type of access. The one that will be connecting, maybe let's say switch with a router or any other layer 3 devices, we always configure the port link type for trunk. So we have already configured it, so it's now to test. It's now the time to test and see if these two PC can pin each other. Remember, this PC belong to a different subnet. As you can see here, this PC belong to 1.2 and the other one belong for 2.2, meaning this is for a different subnet. They all belong to different subnet. So let's go ahead and do that. So simply write a command to send our packet. So pin 192.168, we'll start by pinging our gateway. We'll ping our gateway to see if we can get reply. So we'll ping 2.1 and we have a destination host, but we have some packet loss, but finally we have feedback. So we'll repeat the same, and now it should be pinging in the right way, no packet loss. So that's cool. Let's go ahead and ping now the final destination, which is this PC here, and you can see this PC is now pinging. We're getting reply from it, so you can see packet transmitted is 5, packet received is 5, so no packet loss, 0%. So we'll go ahead and do the same for this one. So let's come again and do the same for this one. So we'll ping also this, first by pinging the gateway 192.168.2.1.1. You can see also we are getting reply from this interface, I mean from this gateway that we have already configured within our layer 3 switch. Now let's go ahead and pin our final device. This is PC1, and you can see also we are getting feedback. So we have successfully configured our VLANIF using the layer 3 switch. So I'll come up with a more complex topology than this one, but as we know that it's good to start from the small one so that we can try to understand these, I mean the way this, or to understand the, at least we started the very start of this topology, so that at least we can gain that knowledge on how we can configure before we gain up or before we engage ourselves in more complex VLANIF configuration. So guys, I really appreciate for watching my videos. Remember to subscribe, like, share and comment. So see you in the next video, and goodbye.